Welcome, revelers, to Off the Rails, Right versus Left, the podcast that we do because we think the left is evil. Well, two of us know it, and one of them defends them. I'm Rob B. With me, as always,
Bradley.
And the local leftist sympathizer,
Brian G.
And like I said, we're Off the Rails, Right versus Left. Today we're going to be covering Biden's Communist Easter. I've heard something really interesting when I listened to the national anthem for the egg roll. We're going to talk a little bit about Riley Gaines and her assault and what this really says about the trans movement. And then we're also going to talk about how the African countries are straight up done with the West. Like, just done. And it actually falls under the exact same topic. It's the trans agenda. And I've got a couple of African leaders, a couple presidents talking exactly about this. So, should be interesting. And the show is starting right now.
All right, welcome, revelers. This is Off the Rails, Right versus Left, the podcast that we do because we think the left is evil. I'm Rob B.
And I'm Bradley. And I'm Brian G.
And we are Off the Rails, Right versus Left. Again, we're doing this show because we think everybody needs to know that the left is evil.
What's up,
All right.
revelers?
So here we go, Brad. What were you talking about just before we started the show?
So apparently there's a Florida State professor who apparently has just disappeared from his job because he committed academic fraud about systemic racism in the law. So according to Murray Lordy from the Daily Wire, a top Florida State University professor appears to have left his job suddenly following years of accusations that he faked data on race in the criminal justice system. Dr. Eric Stewart, PhD, has abruptly disappeared from his position after his peers accused him of committing academic fraud in studies to make racism appear much more prevalent in the criminal justice system than it actually is, the Florida Standard reported. So there's your systemic racism there kind of going down the drain. You had a professor who's committing fraud at a pretty decent college.
Well, I mean, if we really look at pretty much everything that the leftist believes in and the leftist push, that's pretty much all they do is commit fraud.
Right.
Like, they absolutely cannot. Yeah.
They can't get anywhere without it.
No, they can't. Because everything that they have is, everything that they promote is either completely false or operates under some bizarre bait and switch.
Yeah, well, look at Biden back in the 80s when he was running for president and he had to drop out because of what? All of his lies?
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so you also had something, was that the Tennessee governor?
Yeah, the Tennessee governor just signed an executive order to intensify gun background checks. And he's a Republican, or so he says. Apparently, he's not a pro 2A Republican.
So here's my thing. I'm okay with background checks as long as the data is not kept. So I would be okay with a universal background check if nobody's keeping the data. If somebody's making a log of the data, that's when I have a problem with it, because that's how the government makes a list.
Here's my thing. What exactly is in the bill? And what exactly is in his executive order? I'm sure there's much more than just, more intense background checks, because we already do background checks.
Well, yeah, I've never bought a gun that hasn't had a background check done. Even at gun shows, I bought rifles and I've had to wait a week to get it because they take my information and they say, okay, we're going to do the background check. As soon as that's done, we'll leave a message. We'll call you, leave a message, or send you an email and let you know it's ready for pickup.
Right.
A week. So I don't understand this whole people claiming there's not background checks. Everything I've ever done has always had background checks.
The only time that you can, from what I understand, I could be wrong, but from what I understand, if you get a concealed carry permit, that's the only time you can purchase a weapon, a firearm, same day.
Oh, yeah, you've had a universal background check, but you can have, if you do something or charged with a federal crime, you lose your concealed carry permit.
Yeah,
And
right.
then you can't.
And then you end up losing your right to carry a firearm, anyways.
Well, yeah, except in
I guess
Alaska,
depending on the
Alaska,
crime.
you don't need a carry permit.
Same in Texas.
Yeah, Texas,
thank God.
You don't need one either.
Yeah, no, thank God.
Where we live.
Yeah, I know you.
And
yeah. I was just saying, I knew you could get the pre-background check with the concealed carry, which was
Right.
convenient, and then you didn't have to do the whole background thing. But that's because you've already had a background check. This is your evidence. It's kind of like getting a driver's license and saying, "See, I passed the test. I've done everything. Here's my proof." You can have that taken away if you do something illegal and they pull it away from you, but you have that showing that you've already done everything.
Right.
I'm the one that's most recently bought a.
You're breaking up, kid.
I said a gun, right?
You're the most recent to buy a gun, yes.
And so I bought it online. Well, the trade show loophole. There is no trade show loophole.
Yeah, I've never seen
an FFL. Yeah, you have to be an FFL dealer way, and selling it at a trade show. If you're a dealer, instant background check. You have to.
You might have to do
so.
You might have to do a reboot there, Rob.
You're breaking up.
Yeah. I hate that it.
Stop talking about China, man.
Did we mention China so far?
No.
Did you have TikTok on your phone once? Now that every time we talk about China, they drop Rob.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, but we didn't mention China yet.
Oh, I know. That's why I said, did we mention China and I missed it?
No, we didn't mention China. But did you notice that when he went to say China, it only let him say chai?
Yeah.
Okay, is it working properly now?
Yeah. So I'll try and make a complete sentence.
Okay. Is it working?
No.
Say 6 sloths sip broth. 6 sloths sip broth.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that was kind of irritating.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's crazy. No, so I saw something today. I think it was on the Michael Knowles show that Biden dressed as an Easter bunny and he was supporting the furry fandom.
Not this Easter. I think that might have been a fake video. I know. I was just watching the video of him and the Easter bunny with Jill. They walked up around the crowd, and Jill was behind him, and the Easter bunny was there. And the Easter bunny walks up, takes Jill's hand, and then Biden turns around and is like, "What?" Kind of gives him a look like, "What the hell are you doing, holding Jill's hand?" And then he quickly starts taking several fast steps and is rushed to stay in front of him like he's kind of scared of the Easter bunny or something. It's pretty funny to watch.
Barack Obama still opposed him.
Rob, can you get a complete sentence yet, or are you still having brain issues? Oh, we can't even hear him now. I see. No volume. No, it's pretty funny to watch with Biden's screwed up mind, with his dementia and everything. It's just, it's kind of entertaining.
Who's the Korean jumpier corrected herself at all? Pregnant, and in particular, Dollar. But Donald, now he goes by become women, wanted to
Are you what are you watching?
I'm trying to find this clip on Michael Knowles.
Confusion. It's
Huh.
not just affecting kids,
But
teenagers.
yeah, no. So you haven't actually seen the actual video of Biden scampering away with the Easter Bunny holding his wife's hand?
No, that must have been what Michael Knowles was talking about then, because he was saying that he promotes the furry fandom. So if the Easter Bunny scurried away with his wife, then I guess that would be him promoting it, right?
Well,
Or at least he's a furry cuck.
Right? Yeah.
So, anyways, we already know Biden's like afraid of the Easter Bunny because last year he got in trouble with the Easter Bunny for trying to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there was something, like I said, I found something a little more interesting. Like, how does the Star Spangled Banner go? The tempo. Oh, say, can you see? Right? Okay, so does this sound like that tempo? Tell me this sounds like the same tempo, because to me, it doesn't. So here's the national anthem that was played for that.
The United States Navy Band Sea Chanters, under the direction of Captain Ken Collins, will now honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proud?
That was kind of eerily similar.
Yeah, and then check this out. What happened to B?
Mm-hmm.
Did he get a B in his? He probably got attacked by the kids. Okay, so and then this was like the most effed up thing. While I was trying to find the by the way, for our Rumble audience, I see you guys there. You can join us in the Rumble chat, and I can reply to you as RB Coca-Cola. You can talk to any of us, and I'll just relate it, and we'll respond here. I'll read off the chat on the mainstream. So it just our app that we use for streaming to all the different platforms, for some reason it doesn't communicate very well with Rumble. So but we do see you guys there. Thanks for watching on Rumble. Rumble is the best.
Thank you for watching on Rumble. Let's make Rumble bigger than YouTube.
Amen.
Amen.
We're trying to make Rumble great again.
The actual free app, you can say something without worrying about, well, are they going to take it the wrong way because it doesn't agree with them politically and give us a check mark?
Right.
Okay. So did you hear the two anthems?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you asked Brian.
Yeah,
of course. One sounded like the old USSR anthem.
Yeah, weren't they at the Easter thing playing an anthem that sounded an awful lot like the Soviet anthem? Like, I cut into it and the melody didn't really change. And then here's something they did on accident at a stadium in the United States.
Please rise for our national anthem.
That's wild.
That's like, are you kidding me? Like, really? They're playing the Soviet national anthem at sporting events at high schools in the United States. I'd like an explanation. The Soviet Union hasn't existed for 30 years.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I found that absolutely fascinating that they were doing that, and it just seemed to me like Biden's White House is playing the Sovietized national anthem for us.
Well, we all know how tied he is to the Communist Party with all this stuff, with all the money he's made with China and Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah. So, and I, oh my God, it's so much dirty politics, but it just tells you that these leftists, they are socialists. They're literally trying to turn our anthem into a Soviet Union anthem. Like, it's ridiculous. And you go back and you listen to the national anthems for all the countries that were part of the Soviet Union at the time. They played the Soviet Union national anthem, and they were all technically independent countries, but their national anthems were all played to the Soviet national anthem tune. And that's what it sounded to me like they were doing there.
When you call yourself a Democrat socialist, you're a socialist.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, it's kind of funny with how weak and feckless the Russians have proven to be since Ukraine, that anybody would want to try to be part of them.
Well, but that's true. Well, I mean, obviously, so
China's about to find out the same thing that Russia found out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have more faith in Taiwan just because of how hard it is to like conquer it.
Right.
Like,
yeah, and they've been upgrading their military for a long time now with Western gear, not that cheap ass. When
Japan took it before World War II during the Japanese Sino War, like when they took it, like they put in like 100,000 troops to defeat 5,000 troops.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So they've got like something like 200,000 troops in Taiwan, like counting their reservists. So if you have to put in 20 times, that means China's going to have to send 4 million troops to have a shot.
Yeah.
And I know technically they could do it. I just don't think they have it.
Well, and I believe that Taiwan has everyone has to serve in the military policy.
Yeah.
Right. Right. But as far as the immediate reserves that can be called up quickly and the active duty.
Yeah.
My understanding is like within 36 hours they can mobilize 200,000.
Yeah.
So, and I think
China's lining it up, man, just with the blockades and the exercises. One of these exercises is not going to be an exercise. It's going to be the actual invasion.
Apparently,
exercises, bam.
I read something on the Daily Wire that they were saying that they're ready to fight.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, China says it's ready to fight after massive drills around Taiwan. They released an animated video of attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was actually going to mention it later because I show Macron getting smacked down. But it was immediately after Xi Jinping met with Macron that he announced that China was willing to fight because he's sure that Europe's going to stay out of it like a bunch of bitches. Well, I think China's forgetting one thing. Even if Europe wants to stay out of it, if we end up in a hot war with China, every member of NATO is obligated.
Yeah, they'll be involved.
And if they don't come to our aid, well, you might as well consider all those European countries part of Russia because they ain't getting shit over to Ukraine to help them. And if we stop, they're going to roll right fucking through Europe. Hitler did.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyway. So hey, before we do start talking about the next topic here, guys, if you're tired of your banks charging you fees, there is a solution, and you can build your credit while you're doing it. I put the link in the comments. You can go and visit. You get a free $100 for signing up for Chime Bank, their credit builder card. You can help build your credit too if you have some credit hurdles. Just check it out, and you guys get $100 when you have a qualifying direct deposit. So go ahead and see the link and check that out. So this next one, you guys know who Riley Gaines is, right?
Oh, amen. Yeah, she's the swimmer who swam against the guy.
Yeah, really. And like, so she's out speaking at colleges and universities against the trans sports thing, right? So she literally, her problem is that she did not think that she should have to see a 23-year-old grown-ass man's penis half hard in the locker room.
Well, yeah, I mean, it started out with she swam against him. I mean, this is a guy who was, finishing down towards the bottom against the guy.
No, dude, that's irrelevant. The dude was in the ladies' locker room with his cock out.
Yeah, I know, but she swam against him. She won. She tied him for third place, and then they decided not to give her the trophy because they wanted the public
he
image
needed to have the trophy.
of the transsexual
Yeah.
giving the trophy, and she was like, she wanted. And then she goes to change in the locker room, and she turns around, and he's standing there butt naked with his cocks, and they're swinging in the wind.
Riley,
She said he was staring at her.
If I'm not mistaken, Riley Gaines was the track star that was being interviewed by Matt Walsh in What Is a Woman?
A swimming star.
She's been. Yeah, no, I know, but I mean, when she was younger, like in high school and shit.
I
think I could be wrong.
So, and then in one of her talks, I caught one of her talks that was broadcast, and one of the things that she pointed out, a lot of these girls at the college and the university were 17.
Well, one thing I'll say though is what I've, like the other one at the YMCA, that the guy was walking around in the girls' locker room with the young girls, with completely naked, his penis in there hanging out, just swinging in the wind. Is if somebody's truly a transsexual and believes he's a girl, he's not going to sit there walking around the locker room with his dick hanging out.
Nobody is transsexual. They're either intersex or they're chasing clout like Mulvaney. Anyways, but back to Riley Gaines. So here was the point. Here's what happened to Riley.
I was wrong. She wasn't the one in. What is it?
Is this the?
Yeah, you fucking transphobic bitch! I fucking see you! Trans rights are human rights! Trans rights are human rights! Trans rights are human rights! Trans rights are human rights!
Yeah, then they cornered her in a room for 3 hours saying, if you want out, give us money.
Yeah, $10 a piece.
Yeah, so what I find funny there, first off, as Ben Shapiro likes to say, not very ladylike behavior.
Nope.
Yeah,
for that,
guy in a dress hits her like 3-4 times.
Yep. So, I saw twice. That's all I saw. But if you saw 3, 4, who knows? Obviously, this was a riled up mob. Obviously, these are mentally ill people. Like, we need to stop pretending that these are sane people. I mean, when they don't get their way, they get violent. That's mental illness. Like, I don't know why we're going to, keep pretending that these people are normal, because they're not.
Dude, I want to go to a Riley Gaines event just so that I can run into those people and just.
Well, and they called them peaceful protesters. So, every time
there was nothing.
Every time liberals decide to scream and yell at conservatives and beat on them and burn down cities, they're peaceful protests.
Mob
as soon as the conservative says something, then it's violent.
Yeah,
exactly. We're the ones perpetrating an attack, even though they're the ones that are actually physically violent every single time.
Well, that's like those Tennessee Democrats. They got kicked out, and now the city council put them back in. It's like, you guys, you're going backwards.
How is the city council overriding the state legislature?
I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. I was like, how does that work? I'm like, that doesn't. What? The city council has to deal with this. Whatever, man. I don't know how it works over there in Tennessee. So,
well, I think they should just arrest those members for inciting a riot and make sure that they're in prison until their terms in the Senate are up.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. They were leading the people into the house while they were conducting business.
Yeah, they were interfering with business. It wasn't a transurrection.
Yeah, and they had
Like,
to
I
blow
know,
the horns,
I
and
yeah,
it
a
wasn't
lot
a
of
peaceful protest.
yeah, a lot of the commentators have been saying it was an insurrection. It wasn't an insurrection. We're not going to be as stupid as all these other idiots. But yeah, it was definitely an incited riot.
It's about as much of an insurrection as January 6th was.
Exactly.
Which wasn't an insurrection.
Exactly. We'll play by the same rules.
But according to left's definition, it was an insurrection.
That's why we need to start getting out there into places where this stuff is happening. When Michael Knowles goes to a college or whatever, and we need to get out there and get back in those freaking protesters' faces.
Well, I'd love to.
And if it takes violence, it takes violence. It shouldn't have to, and I don't.
Oh shit! I should have turned off YouTube before you said that.
Well, I don't promote it. I'm just saying, they're the ones being violent. That's been proven.
So I'm gonna make the stance of off the rails right versus left perfectly clear. We absolutely do not, under any circumstance, ever encourage anybody to engage in violence. However, if somebody is attacking you, by all means, use your constitutional rights to defend yourself with the utmost level of force that you need. And if 20 people are surrounding you and getting in your face, I hope you have 2 clips, because 20 people can kill you with their hands.
Mm-hmm.
Every year in this country, over 1,000 people are murdered with people's bare hands. And that's just one-on-one. That's not even counting mob violence.
Yep. And you know what's messed up is those cops did nothing. Those people should have been arrested. But the good news is she's pressing charges. So
yeah, but I think the cops should be arrested as well.
Oh yeah, they allowed it to happen.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that they were accessories to the crime, because she was kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
And all the cops that stood around and allowed it to happen when they had guns and batons and pepper spray and they didn't do anything to stop it, they should all be charged.
Yeah, with wrongful imprisonment, because
if a mob of white people did that to a black person, or a mob of cis people did that to a transgender, there would be hate crime charges. So there needs to be hate crime charges. They're doing that to this girl because she's actually a woman, and they're fucking jealous that they're not.
Mm-hmm. And what's weird though is that she's a woman and she says it, and she has more balls than a lot of the men that are on campus or even at that freaking disturbance or riot.
Yeah, I don't understand how she can be on a campus that's like half men. Well, actually about 40% men, because women account for 60% of the college population nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Which I understand. Like, as a guy, why the hell would you want to go be neutered at a college campus?
Right.
I mean, everybody that comes out of there a liberal cut. So that's why it is actually good work that YAF is doing, and TPUSA, Young American Foundation, and Turning Point USA for anybody that's not familiar with them.
Yeah, dude, I love Trump, but Turning Point USA really sucks Trump's dick a lot.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk goes a little too.
They do it so much though that I can't watch it, which is what Candace Owens has been. I mean, I haven't.
I don't like watching their shows, but I love the Q&As when they do campus events.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you.
And that's what I was talking about. I don't even watch their shows. I can't stand them, but they do a really good job on the campus outreach.
Candace Owens, dude, I liked watching her show, but she's got this tone about her, like she's better than everybody, and then just some of this, she'll like when she started attacking Steven Crowder, I was like, all right, I'm done. You can't just call somebody a bitch because he didn't like the contract, and he came out and told everybody your guys' contracts, and now you guys are butthurt, even though he kept your fucking name out of it. Your name was redacted from the contracts. Like, honestly, to be honest with you, I thought he was talking about the Blaze when he was doing his shit. And everybody says whatever they want, whoever. But honestly, that's who I thought it was. because I was like, when
Yeah.
are we going to hear about why he's leaving the Blaze? And then he came out with that, and then right after that, Daily Wire comes out. I'm like, oh,
And and he said that all the big conservative media companies are like that. So I think that would include the Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why he was leaving the Blaze, because the contract they handed him was just like that.
Yeah, and the whole time that he's doing this, I'm like, dude, he's gonna do something with Rumble. He has to. I even told my wife, I was like, I think he wants to do something with Rumble, because
Yeah.
after that election stream where he had like 300 and some odd thousand viewers live, that never happened in Rumble's history. It was groundbreaking. And so he was like, oh, wow, if Rumble is as good as YouTube, then we need to switch over there. And of course, Rumble is backed by the likes of Dan Bongino and another guy from, it's all from Canada. That's the funny thing.
Yeah. So,
The owners of Rumble came from Canada, and they're all about free speech. And they're so much about free speech that they told France to go pound sand when they told them that they couldn't have like RT on their platform.
yeah, and I really like Tim Cook. He does a lot on there. I mean, he's libertarian like me, so like I really see eye to eye with him on a lot of stuff. And then like, who did I see on there? What's her name? Caitlin, Liberty Hangout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she started posting again.
Wow.
So that was
She had a
pretty
kid,
cool.
didn't she?
Yeah, I don't know. She's been gone for 2 years. She might have had a couple kids.
Yeah. Well, I know the last video that I saw of her was she was talking to these fucking leftists who were mad at her because she said that she liked making her husband lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
And
So hey, I'm proud of her.
I loved it when she'd walk out on the beach and fucking start talking to people and be like, well, why? What? And then people just look stupid.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was going to make a short on this, but I still want to get this comment in here. But yeah, the next segment's going to be into the trans thing too. But yeah, it's ridiculous. The shit's being pushed on kids. It's being forced on girls. Like they're letting girls in the prison. This is all just stupid. Like, and then Riley Gaines, who's just speaking up. What she's speaking up for is women's rights. And you know what? Trans people have rights. Okay? You can go wherever you want according to your genitalia. If you chop off your dick, go in the women's locker room. Nobody's going to give a shit. If you get an artificial penis, I don't care if you're in the men's room.
Nobody really started giving a shit until they started wanting to play in women's sports and go into women's fucking locker rooms and then push it on our kids.
Yeah, exactly.
But like you were... What's that, Brian?
Rather than just living, they try to force it down our throat.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've always want to take. They always say that they just want to do their thing, but that's not what they're actually doing.
Right, they think that Middle America is this small thing, and it's not. It's vastly outnumbers them.
Yeah, for sure. Y'all got the cities, and that's about it. Even in the states that you control.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? The conservatives, we make all the food. Just pointing that out.
Yeah,
we do all the hard work. We keep you safe.
Oh, it's like the monologues from Fight Club.
Yep.
We guard you while you sleep.
Yep. Don't fuck with us.
So anyway, hey, so Brad, how can people go make some money? How can people go out and make some money if they're looking for a new way to invest?
Oh, if you want to invest and be a loan shark, go to Lend Me. You'll see the description. You'll see the link in our description box. Check it out. Go be a loan shark. They do all the work for you. You don't have to do nothing. They'll go break some legs or some fingers, Either way, you're going to get your money from Lend Me. They take care of all of that good stuff.
That's great. Now, hey, so on the last one here, okay. As much as like I don't go for the totalitarianism of Putin and like his attempts to become the final czar, you know, or the next czar, or the rebirth of the czar, or Xi Jinping and his attempt to dominate the world. They
On
both
that
have
note,
a mess.
hit like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, but they do have one thing that they're doing right. And this is resonating in Africa and Latin America, because while we're all focused on Ukraine, all these leaders in Latin America and Africa are saying, hey, we're being ignored. Okay, so check this out.
Changer dans la manière de coopérer avec la France et l'Europe. Regardez-nous autrement, en nous respectant, en nous considérant comme de vrais partenaires, et non pas toujours avec un regard paternaliste, avec l'idée de toujours savoir ce qu'il faut pour nous et non pas pour... Voilà.
Si le président Tshisekedi m'y autorise, je voudrais apporter un commentaire au commentaire. Je m'explique. Parce que le président a parlé de la France en répondant à la question.
So, anyways, then he goes and tries to say that the French reporter that pissed off the president wasn't speaking for the French government, and he points out that, yeah, the Western countries have control of their media if they have liberal governments. So, and then this one, what is his name, Mabanga or something like that? This is another one of the leaders in one of the other countries who really gets into why Africa is cleaving itself off from the West.
And guess what? 16 million only for Zambia. The 16 million, ask me, what is it for?
What is it for?
For human rights. Across the river, China and Russia coming to South Africa, ask me for what?
For what?
For a military training and skills sharing of security. So the Americans are more interested in a transgender, homosexual agenda around the world. They will invest their money and give you money to protect human rights. Russia and China are coming with weapons and militarization strategies so that we can protect ourselves. So I want to say this very loud and clear to the Americans. Continue on your transgender agenda. Stay there. Leave us to do politics on the other side. Because what we need right now is not a minority human rights activation. What we need is a societal transformation. And for you as Americans to think that we really envy that when you have an anti-lesbian, anti-gay, LGBT principle, then tourists would drop. Let me correct that once and for all, Sbu. And cut and clip this, and it must be loud and clear. Are you saying to me that all the tourists are gay? And when you hear that this is a non-gay zone, tourism will suffer? Question number one. Question number two. Are you saying that we don't have a right to expressing ourselves as Africans? Question number three. If democracy means majority rules and majority votes against a principle, then why won't you allow that to become law? Are you saying the minority must manage the majority, or the majority must manage the minority? Then if that whole ideology is wrong, then take democracy in a nice black dustbin bag and throw it outside.
Boom! Damn, he was dropping bombs left and right, man.
Yeah, and then he goes on to point out the fact that, man. Yeah, and he goes on and he points out the fact, dude, this is like the leader of Zambia or Zaire or some shit like that. Zambia. So he goes on to talk about how like they're writing the countries in Africa and Latin America about gay rights and like betraying family values, and yet they're over there in the Middle East sucking Saudi dick. And the penalty for homosexuality there is death. Mm-hmm. Oh, so kind of funny.
Rwanda's the same way. Well, no, Rwanda is life in prison.
So out of the 64 countries where gay and transgenderism is illegal, 32 of them are in Africa, 20 of them are in South America. The rest are in Asia. So I think it makes it pretty damn clear that this so-called progressive agenda is hurting the U.S. on the world stage. It's hurting the West in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of, we've got these huge challenges in front of us with China and Russia. And what are we doing to get allies if there's a world war? Nothing. They're doing nothing. What are they doing? They're alienating everybody for this tiny fragment of the population who nobody gives a shit about. If you don't take your business out of the bedroom, nobody gives a shit. Even in countries like Saudi Arabia, they don't break into people's houses and demand to watch you screw a woman or they're going to chop your head off.
And
if you keep your shit private, if you keep your shit private, nobody's going to know. If you aren't out there going, the dicks are yummy.
Oh, man.
Nothing is going to happen to you.
Perfect. Oh, my God.
Rob does that so well.
Well, that's the thing. I'm straight as fuck, but when I was doing the traveling sales gig, two of my best friends were Roddy, who was very gay, and Hollywood, who was a 6-foot-tall Mexican drag queen. I didn't give a fuck. They could live their life however they wanted. Right. You know what I mean? Right. But fucking Hollywood wasn't in people's faces unless he was going out to do a show. Rodney wasn't fucking in people's faces except, there's this one Puerto Rican boxer guy that fucking, he did some shit while he was asleep, and every day for the next week he got his ass whooped because basically he sexually assaulted the guy while he was asleep. But that's what you get.
That's what you get. That's a psychological issue, bro.
So anyway,
rape is rape, man.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So he and I weren't really friends after that, but the reality is, if you aren't shoving it in people's face, nobody gives a fuck. Dude, you know why? Because every fucking guy has a friend whose girlfriend is 300 pounds and disgusting, and we can't imagine how he's sleeping with that because it's disgusting. We feel the same thing about gay dudes. We don't get it. Okay, guys, we get lesbians a little better because we like girls too.
Well,
okay,
there's some pretty nasty looking lesbians.
No, but that's back to the unattractive people thing, that there's somebody for everybody. And then when it comes to the gay dudes, we don't really get it because we don't think men are attractive, but whatever, do your thing. You know what I mean? We just don't care. Just don't put it in my face and keep your fucking queer shit away from my kids.
Right.
You want queer pride? Fine. Have your queer pride. Do it in your home. I'm not out in the street marching going, I eat pussy, I eat pussy. Why do you got to go out there and have a parade to suck dick?
Yeah, there's no straight pride freaking parades.
Yeah, that's not well, get into the sin of pride too if you want to.
And those gay pride parades are fucking, they're demonic. I mean, were you walking around parading naked for? Dude, no.
Dude, I don't know what happened, but our viewership tripled when I went, I like dick. So,
I wouldn't say anything, Rob, but
so anyway, welcome to the extra viewers over there on Rumble. Anyway, so it's just so stupid because it's weakening our society. Our military's getting soft. Our men are soft to the point that they're watching women get hurt. They're not even men anymore. Our families are destroyed because when men do get married, they can't actually handle conflict resolutions with their spouses. I mean, this gay agenda, what's their agenda? They don't want men with women anymore. Okay? And you know what? And I'll explain this. If there's anybody out there that's actually against gay people and you're a straight man, I will tell you this. You should love gay men. because that's two guys that usually take pretty good care of themselves, dress pretty fucking nice, taken off the market, and that's two chicks out there available for you. So go find the pussy they were supposed to be hitting.
Okay, well, there's a flaw to. I understand what you're saying.
So I'm just saying,
More
who cares what they're
fucking
doing?
lesbians out there than there are gay dudes. Okay.
Well, I've always said that
was a fallacy.
Well, but I've always said that women are biologically programmed, because if you get back to the Bible, you know, one man, no, one woman wouldn't have been able to populate the earth. In the Bible podcast, we talked about how there were other people on earth and that Cain went to live among them. Anyways, so funny to do a crossover from the Bible podcast. But what it really breaks down to is if you look through all through the Bible, every man had many wives. And so I think women have a little bit more of an attraction to women. And I always explain this to women. This is how it looks to me, okay? You could put the like hottest dude or the ugliest dude on the fucking planet in front of me. They're going to look the same to me. I don't fucking get it. I'm straight. Like, there's no fucking gauge for whether or not they're attractive. So me, I don't know if I'm ugly. I don't know if I'm good looking. Girls seem to like me. Okay, I'll take it.
I know you're.
You know what I mean? Okay, but then you go and look at. Well, I'm glad of that, because as far as I know, you're straight. So if you're not, I'm glad you're not attracted, because I am. Anyway, so but women, dude, they go, oh, she's so pretty. Oh, she's so sexy. Oh, goddamn, she's hot. Guys will never say that about another guy. And it's not homophobia. It's not in our fucking brains. We don't see anything attractive there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the more lesbians doesn't surprise me. But I can tell you from my experience, lesbians aren't really that lesbian if you lick it right. I'm just saying.
How'd you say it when you were licking right?
Well, she said it for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, not going to go into too much detail on it, because, you know, we'll get banned from YouTube. But that's the point. Like, but we're pushing all this shit, like, around the world, and they don't fucking want it. Like, in the What a Woman video, they're just like, well, can a man become a woman? He's like, no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the fucking way it's been all of the time. And I think, like, we're at a point where we have things so good in the West that, like, they're just trying to create problems to have.
Yeah.
Okay? And what you really have with these kids, you got confused kids, because I don't know about y'all, but puberty sucked for me. Like, guys don't really talk about how hard puberty is, but it fucking sucked for me, dude. I was fucking awkward. My voice was fucking stupid. I couldn't fucking work my body, because you remember, dude, you knew me. I went from like 4'11" to 5'11" in like 4 months. It was fucking ridiculous. I couldn't even walk without falling down. And then fucking I'm getting hair everywhere. Fucking, like, if I look at a girl for 3 seconds, all of a sudden I'm picturing her fucking naked. My brain's out of fucking control. Like, I feel like I've lost my mind.
Your underwear is all sticky.
No, but you get what I'm saying. So like puberty is really fucking hard. Okay, so we need to fucking stop trying to create new problems and address what's going on. And then you dig deeper into the problem. All these kids are fucking disconnected. They're online. They're not actually getting that bonding, that touch. Like, bro, like even when we go out and play basketball, we're fucking slapping each other on the back, fucking tussling, fucking there's a human connection. Even when we're fighting, you're fucking boys, you know what I mean? And like you get that bonding, and then when you're with the girls, oh yeah, there's that bonding, okay? But these kids are locked in their fucking rooms, so they're not going through the normal processes of development, so it's all even more confusing than it was from us, where we actually lived a life in our generation, and we actually went through this shit. Okay, so instead of sitting down and being a fucking parent and being like, okay, give me your fucking laptop and get your ass outside, or, oh, you're welcome home from school, your Xbox is locked in the fucking attic until midnight, you can have it on the weekend, or whatever, go out and fucking play. These kids are not getting the bonding, they're not getting the experience, they're not getting the connections, so they're alone, they're isolated, they're looking for answers. And what do they see? They're on social media. Hey, look, this little fucking dip twat fucking pretends that he's got a fucking pretends that he's a girl, and now he's got sponsorships. Bam, maybe I'm trans too. Maybe that's why I feel so uncomfortable in my body. No, you feel uncomfortable in your body because you're going through some shit that everybody has to go through. And the strongest fucking men on this planet all went through the same awkward shit at the same fucking point in their life. And every fucking demure and sexy and fabulous woman went through the same awkward shit when she got to that point. And we're abandoning our kids and telling them that there's something wrong with them instead of helping them go through the normal progression of life. And Africa ain't having any fucking part of it.
Oh no, clearly they screw that. But anyways, that's like today. I was like, I got home, I took my shower, and I was like, all right, before I eat and do my show, let's go take the kids to the park. Or we take the kids to the park, and there's a bunch of people there, and it was great. I was like, dude, no, we're gonna get them outside. We're gonna stop this sitting in our rooms bull crap unless we're fucking, going to bed. And so we go out and they're all playing. They're having a good time. And I'm looking around and all these parents are at the park with their kids. And there's a lot of kids there. And every single parent is doing this number right here.
Phone.
Got my phone. They're just looking at their phone. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, I'm sitting there without my phone. I go up and we have the little merry-go-round. And all the little kids were on there, and I was like, they all wanted to go, but no one wanted to push them because they were all little kids, and all the adults were sitting on their phones. So I go up, I'm like, all right, kids, hold on tight. Make sure you let me know when it's going too fast. So I just started spinning them.
Yeah, and like I know it's the same thing with Brian and his two kids. Like he's always off doing shit with them. That's why we miss him sometimes because he works nights, so he sacrifices his sleep to make sure that he has that interaction with his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's the problem. All these fucking liberal helicopter parents are not doing their job as parents. So, of course, they've got the most confused kids. And then they have this freaking agenda programmed into their brains that their boy might be a girl or their girl might be a boy. And it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's all a lie.
Yeah, the depression and the anxiety that comes with puberty and even just growing up, even before puberty starts, you're constantly fucking changing on like a daily basis. Like my mom always talked about it like fucking like it was the big joke that fucking we outgrew clothes every month. Like your body's constantly changing, and that's tough from the minute you start walking.
Yeah.
So, fucking be a parent, work through this. Like, tell your kids, you're normal, you're awesome, you're perfect the way you are, and you aren't going to have so many kids sitting there thinking that there's something wrong with them.
Yeah. And get some morals.
Sorry about my rant on that, guys, but yeah, fucking.
No, dude.
I got some feels on it. Anyway, we've gone super long. Brian, you want to do the wag out?
Well, recently pets have become more than just pets. They're now family. And it breaks our heart when we get stuck with life, work, family, and we just can't make it home. Well, now you can have a devoted caregiver such as Brother Rob come over and walk your dog, or just give him some food for dinner. Or if you're going to be gone for a while, he could even stay with your pet or even take him home and take care of him as if he was part of his own family. Download the Walk app, and you can have a professional, loving caregiver, like I said, such as Brother Rob, take care of your furry family member. Make sure to enter the promo code Robert35944, and we'll give you $5 for your first paid service. Waggle do the walking, so their tails keep wagging. Again, just enter the promo code Robert35944. And you get $5 towards your first service.
I gave myself a new name.
Potty mouth. Should be Pastor Jackhouse.
Word. Anyway, well, thank you for all the revelers. Thanks for joining us. I mean, we had some good views over here on Rumble the whole time. I'm going to double check, make sure that we got all the links for our sponsors in the comments after the show. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. We're going to be trying to come at you guys every day, but we got to get the show shorter than this, but we just get so into it. Maybe we need fewer topics each day. Maybe that's what we need to work on. Anyway, but thank you guys for joining us. It's like really great. It feels great to see you guys jumping on. Feel free to engage with us too. Like I am watching the live chats on Rumble, and we always have the screen for all the other platforms on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, on basically we got all the platforms that we're streaming to. We have them all up so we can see you guys messaging. So if you guys ever want to get our hot take on a comment or on a topic, just let us know. But hey, be good, love your family, go spend some time with them. Peace out.